So we are going to start VPC once more from very beginning. I'm not going to discuss because you know we have to create VPC, create gateway, attach the gateway, then subnet, then routing table, associate subnet to routing table to gateway, and then I hope this one. In last class we use this diagram, huh? How to delete? हाँ, शेल स्क्रिप्ट क्लास चल रहा था ना, ज्वाइन किया था. देखो मैंने तो ग्रुप में अपडेट दिया था, सैटरडे संडे मंडे ट्यूसडे वेडनेसडे क्लास है सेल स्क्रिप्ट का. ग्रुप में ही, ग्रुप देखा नहीं? ग्रुप में देखो, हर ग्रुप में बता दिया था. 15-16 लोग ज्वाइन किया था, जिसको मर्जी. फिर क्योंकि ये क्लास 2-3 महीने बाद होता है शेल स्क्रिप्ट का. Okay, check it. This VPC, I am going to create the same thing, that not NAT gateway, NAT instance. Okay, NAT instance means one Linux machine where NAT is configured, installed and configured. Fine. So let's start one by one. First VPC. This is default VPC. I am going to create my own VPC. My VPC name VPC 192 and CIDR 192.168.0.0/24. That's all. Now internet gateway and attach IGW-192, internet gateway 192 created, attached to VPC. Which VPC? 192. Complete. Now I am going to create subnet. These are all default subnet. We have to create 4 subnet. Under which VPC? VPC 192. Now pub sub 1, public subnet 1, zone suppose 1A, AP South 1A. VPC CIDR is same, but subnet CIDR is 192.168.0.0/28, 4-bit. Adding another subnet, pub sub 2, zone B, and CIDR 192.168.0.16/28. Third subnet, not public, private subnet 1, zone A, CIDR range 192.168.0.32/28. Fourth one, private subnet 2, availability zone B, CIDR 192.168.0.48/28. So our subnet over. Create subnet. 4 subnet created. Private, public, public. Okay. /28 means 14 IP, but inside of AWS it should be 11 IP, because first 3 IP going to used by AWS internally. No, 2 to the power 4 means 16 minus 2. network and broadcast, that is 14. But that 14 inside of AWS, from each and every subnet, first 3 IP, first 1, 2, 3, each and every subnet, first 3 IP, internally AWS is going to use. What it is going to use, we will discuss interview question time. Okay. Now just remember, 3 IP is going to be used by the AWS. Which 3 IP? First 3 IP of each and every subnet, right? So my subnet ready. Now root table. One public root table and one private root table. As per the figure, this is my root table. Okay. So public and private, and then we have to associate public site, private site, and public to gateway. So create root table, capital R hyphen public hyphen 1. In future, if I am going to create another public root, so root public 2, root public 3, like this. Okay. Or depends on your requirement. Sometimes root public for this application, root public for that application. Okay. VPC, which VPC? 192. That's all. We have to create one more root. Create capital R private 1, private root table, VPC 192. Root table created. Now what is our requirement? Association, this arrow key. We have to associate this subnet to this public root to gateway. So this is my public root. Subnet associates. Edit. Which one? Public, this two. Associate. Then move to roots. This is from actually router concept. So routes or roots, edit. We have to add any packets. It moves to internet gateway. Click here. This is your internet gateway. Connected. Now back to root table again. Private root table. Subnet associates. Edit. And private subnet 1, private subnet 2. Association. For private subnet purpose, if you check it, it is not going to connect to gateway. So I am not going to connect. So up to this is over. Now I am going to create one public instance and I am going to create one private instance. Connect to public instance and then public instance to private instance. This time this public instance known as Bashan host or jump server, because in this subnet maybe number of instance is there, but particular one instance, via that instance we are going to connect our private instance. Fine. So this particular instance is known as jump server because we are jumping from here to here, public to private, or it is known as Bashan host. So let's see this portion first, then we are going to create one NAT instance. Fine. NAT instance, that is one particular instance where NAT already configured. So let's create one public as well as private and check it. So my VPC, gateway, attach, subnet, root table, everything is over. Right click and duplicate. EC2. Instance, launch instance. PC public 1. That means one PC in public subnet and first PC. OS Amazon, instance T2, key pair. I am going to create one key, public key ppk. So public key is going to download it. Now edit this networking. This is important because first time we are going to choose our own VPC, not default. Click here and choose our own VPC, VPC 192. We have to choose our subnet. So this instance should be in public subnet 1. As per our diagram, we are going to create this EC2 in public subnet 1. Okay, so I am creating in public subnet 1. And if it is public subnet, then auto assign public IP should be enabled. If it is private, auto assign public IP should be disabled. Regarding security group, I am going to create one security group. Security group underscore public underscore 1. That is public 1 for that PC. This is the security group. Security group public 1. SSH from my IP and 8 GB hard disks. Launch the instance. So this is the instance. Which instance? Basically this instance is this one. Okay, now I am going to connect it with the help of public IP and key is there. So from on-premises, my connection through gateway to routing to this EC2. Fine. Let's see. If connection is okay, that means my VPC configuration is okay. It is working. So this is my public IP address. Private IP is 0.12. Start putty EC2 hyphen user at check it. What is the problem? Password, because we didn't pass the password. So start putty EC2 hyphen, without EC2 hyphen user also possible, only IP and password. Runtime you can pass the EC2 user. See, if I didn't use, I just use the IP address and SSH auth credential, public key, try to open. It is going to ask the login as we have to pass EC2 hyphen user. Now it is connected, or directly you can pass username also. Now when it is connected, what is the private IP address? 192.168.0.12. This is the IP address. So connection okay. Fine. Close it. Now as per the diagram, I am going to create this instance that is in private site. Then I want to connect this instance. That is main challenge, because directly via gateway we cannot connect it. So via gateway we are going to connect our public instance and public to this private instance. When I try to connect public to private instance, we have to use the private IP address. But main problem is the key, because when I am going to create this instance, I am going to download the key, the private key, and that is available in my local machine. That is not available in this EC2 instance. Then when I try to connect, it is going to ask the key. So that is a challenge. So we have to fulfill it. Let's check it. Let's create another instance in private site. So private PC 1, Amazon Linux, T2 micro, key pair, create key pair, private key, this private key, when I am going to create, it should be PIM key. Why PIM key? Because we are going to connect from this machine to this machine. We are not using putty. We are going to use SSH. Okay. So if you are going to use SSH, then you have to copy that and pass it to here. But when I am going to attach this, let's see PPK through, because that is a different concept. I am going to create PPK only, because I have to attach to P agent. P agent is putty agent. So putty agent cannot know what is PIM. Putty agent knows only this PPK. So right now I am going to create PPK. Created network, our VPC, and where I am going to create private subnet 1. This time it is private subnet, not public. And IP, public IP disabled. Security group. We have to create security group. Security group private 1. Security group private 1. And when I am going to mention here SSH, SSH from where it is going to connect? This machine. This machine is going to connect from this machine. Okay. So this machine to this machine connectivity. And let's change the color and others. It is a black color. So my private machine is going to connect from my public machine. Fine. So in this private machine security group, what I am going to mention? SSH through from where it is going to connect? IP address of this machine. What is the IP address? 192.168.0.12, I think. Okay. The private IP of public machines. So we have to mention here SSH from custom, and which IP address? 192.168.0.12/32. /32 means only this IP, only single IP. Then hard disk 8 GB, launch it. Instance. So this is my private PC. Now it is pending. My private PC private IP is 0.43 and there was no public IP. And if I check my public PC private IP, that is 0.12. We already mentioned 0.12/32. So first we have to connect this machine, this public machine. Then from that public machine we have to connect our private machine. But when I try to connect the private machine from public machine, this machine key, private key, okay, that is not available in this machine. That is available in on-premises machine, in my desktop. Then what to do? We are going to use P agent. We attach the key of this private machine to P agent and attach that P agent to putty. So when I connect this EC2, in that session this key of this machine is available. Okay. Because in last class also I show you private key we attach to P agent, private key attached to P agent, and P agent attached to putty. So what happened when I am going to connect this EC2 instance, public EC2 instance, in this session the key of the private machine is available. So when I try to connect, it is possible. Okay, let's see. So both are running. Let's connect my public PC again. Copy IP address, start putty, ec2 hyphen user at ssh auth. Under auth, allow agent forwarding, and then credential, we have to add our credential public key. But what about the private key, that is p agent? So let's check it before continue with p agent. P agent is not running, so we have to move to the location of p agent where I download it, AWS key, p agent exe. This is, so p agent is running. Right click, view keys, there was no key, so add key. Which key? Private key, right? Private machine key. Open, key is added here, private key, close it. Now when I am attach here auth, allow agent forwarding, what happened? That p agent putty is going to carry that p agent, okay, and p agent carry the password of the private machine, key of the private machine. So let's see, open, connected. From here ssh ec2 hyphen user at IP address of my private machine. And then -i the key, but no need to mention any key here because key already available in this location. Just press enter, yes, and check it. I connected which machine? 0.43. Initially I am connected in 0.12. okay, so public to private also connectivity over, fine. Now in private machine, if I am going to use sudo yum install httpd, it is not possible because as per the diagram, internet purpose, what is the requirement? Minimum gateway connectivity or NAT gateway or NAT instance, but still now there was no NAT instance, NAT gateway. In last class we created NAT gateway. NAT gateway very simple. I'm just going to touch, but I'm going to create NAT instance today, NAT instance. So let's see, it is not possible. Control C and back to your public machine. Now I am in 12, right? So here sudo yum install httpd, it is possible because this is public instance. It is asking yes or no. I am pressing no because I don't want to install, I just want to check. So that is clear, public private options. Now if I am going to create one NAT instance, so NAT gateway from VPC homepage, this is NAT gateway. Okay, this is NAT gateway. NAT gateway purpose, automatically it is going to accept one elastic IP and create the NAT gateway. Now my target is NAT instance. So NAT instance also one same instance like this, but already NAT configured. So we are going to create this NAT instance in public site and attach to this private route table. Okay, then only internet access possible from this EC2 instance, that is private EC2 instance. So let's create NAT instance. Okay, let's create NAT instance. So NAT instance from where? From instance only, from here only. It is also a simple instance. So how to create it? Launch instance. My instance name is my NAT. Fine. Now, which operating system? This is the main portion. Click on browse more AMI. So different AMI is there. This is quick start. My AMI, if I create any Amazon machine image. Marketplace, this is not free of cost. 5,908 AMI is there. Third party. And community AMI, 500 AMI is there. Published by anyone. It is free of cost. So my choice is from here. Free of cost, my target, what type of machine? Where NAT is configured. Okay? And you can choose from here Linux, Unix. You can choose from here all Linux, Unix or any particular. Okay, NAT on that Linux. That is possible, but I am not going to choose anything. Let's see NAT related how many machines are there. Out of 500 NAT configured. So enter. It is going to searching 17, 18, 21, 500 unfiltered, filtered. It is searching, and after search it is going to show you these are the machines where NAT is configured.
Sir, we can also create our NAT, right?
Yeah, you can create one instance, you can configure it. If you know the NAT configuration, then
So in an industry, sir, we need to create or just like we have to
no,
take
in
care.
AWS basically everything is ready made. Okay, normally we are not going to create anything, everything is ready made. Check it, 276 NAT related instances there. So now just scroll down. This is NATs. It is telling that NAT is there and it is AMI number this. Okay, AWS, that is Amazon. These are also NAT related. If you check it, inside of this NAT option should be there. So from here we have to choose. Sometimes suppose they are providing NAT here, but this machine is not working. Okay, sometimes you may face that NAT is not working. That is not your problem. Problem is this instance related. Okay. So before that, one more thing, NAT instance purpose. NAT instance diagram. This is important. First we have to create the NAT instance. We already search, I am going to choose and going to create. Fine. Then security group of that NAT instance, we have to add all traffic from where? From CIDR of private subnet. So in our case 0.32 and 0.48. So we have to add 2 times. Okay. If 3 subnet is there, 3 times. Fine. Next, number 3, NAT instance. We have to disable source destination check. How to? Action, networking, change source destination. What is the meaning of this NAT instance disable source destination? See, whenever we are going to create any instance means one computer. So basically, any computer, either it is a source machine or it is a destination machine, that is target machine. Suppose from your laptop you are accessing Google. So your laptop is source and Google also running on any machine, that is target or destination. But NAT instance, it is a instance, but it is not source, not a target. It is in between this private instance and internet. In between NAT instance is there. So it is not a source, not a target, not a destination. So we have to disable this source destination check. By default, any instance either source or destination, but we have to change this. And then we have to attach this NAT instance to my private routing table. Okay, these 4 steps we have to follow. Fine. So let's create NAT instance. First options. So say check the first one, NAT is already there, so select it. I choose this AMI, particular this AMI where Amazon Linux with NAT configured. Just try to check all the steps. After that, internet access or not access, it is not your problem. Then you have to change the another instance. Okay. Next option, instance type. Bapre. T2 micro, key pair. I am not going to create any key because if it is required, I am going to use public key because it is in public site. So same key. Regarding network, it should be in our VPC, that is VPC 192, and it should be in public site, public subnet. So I am using public subnet 2 as per our diagram, and public IP should be enabled. Regarding security group, create a security group name, security group underscore NAT. Description, security group for NAT. Rules, as per our diagram, rule says all traffic, and this is our subnet 0.32 and 0.48. Right now I am going to add only 132 because one EC2 instance is there in 32, not in 48. Okay. So let's see. We have to add all traffic. Then all source type custom and address 192.168.0.32/28, particular this subnet. Fine. right, your private subnet, this one. Okay, because our EC2 in this subnet, we have to add this one also, but right now I'm not adding because there was no EC2 instance. So only one option I use. I didn't use any SSH connectivity on others. And 8 GB hard disks. Launch instance. They accept it from marketplace. Marketplace means billing. Let's see it is going to create or it is not going to create. Then we have to choose another instance. It is stuck in 73% because by default it is asking high-end machine M5. I changed to T2. Maybe it is not going to launch or any issues. In one of my video, that is NAT is successfully launched and used. So from that video you can check which instance I am using. Okay, after 2-3 times test, one instance is working. Please wait, please wait. I can't wait. So again try to launch. NAT, browse, community, Amazon Linux 2, HVM, NAT, Java, something something. I am selecting this one. T2, key pair, same public key, networking, 192, private subnet not there, public subnet it should be, public subnet 2, public IP enabled, create security group, SGNAT, what I am going to use all traffic from custom, and it should be dot 3228. ऑल ट्रैफिक में भी गलती हो गया, तो ऑल ट्रैफिक चूज़ करना है, वो क्लिक करते वक्त इधर उधर हुआ शायद। अच्छा, ये कौन सा ओएस लिया? which OS? Amazon Linux 2. And this machine is going to use 10 GB hard disk space, not 8 GB as usual. Free tier eligible customer can up to 30 GB. We are creating 3 machine, 8, 8 and this is 10, 26 GB. Here it is showing free tier details. Launch instance failed by security group. That security group already there, so you cannot create it. NAT1. Now NAT instance successfully created. So this is my NAT instance. So first over, second also over, because in security group I mentioned all traffic from this. Third options in NAT instance, disable source destination check. How it is? Action, networking, change source destination. So this is my NAT instance. Action, networking, source destination, where it is? Change source destination check. From here, source destination checking, stop. So this is not a source, not a destination. Then save it. And one more option is there. We have to add this to private routing. So in this VPC, private routing, routes, edit, add rule, any packet to instance. Which instance? NAT instance. Okay, last time we already use internet gateway and NAT gateway. Now NAT instance. Then save change. After that, from here, SSH EC2 hyphen user at IP address is 192.168.0 dot I think 43. PC private 43. Connected 43. Sudo yum install httpd. Just want to check it is working or not. If it is working, fine. If it is not working, just change the NAT instance. Okay, process same, just change the NAT instance. And don't forget to follow these 4 steps. This is important. I create the NAT instance, security group, specially all traffic from this, then NAT instance, this option, source destination, then in private routing table. So this is important. If it is working fine, success, because process is same, maybe instance is not working. So we have to change the NAT instance and try it once more. Okay, maybe in this instance NAT configured, but some problem is there. Marketplace, if you choose from marketplace, these are payment basis and these are working. But community edition means someone, if you are interested, you can upload it in community edition after configuring. So maybe some problem is there, so it is not working. Okay, I just use Control C and close it. So this is the way VPC and then instance creation, public, private, connectivity using bash and host, jump server, NAT instance, everything. Okay, now deletion purpose. First delete all the instance, terminate. Once everything is deleted, now it is shutting down. Because these three instances in your VPC. After deletion of this, now I am going to delete the VPC from here. Okay, if I try to delete my VPC, action delete, it is going to show unable to delete because something is there. So once it is clean, that is all the EC2 instance, 2 terminated, 1 still shutting down, NAT instance. I am sending this video plus I am sending that particular video where NAT is working. Okay, you just check the instance, try to use the same instance. These are terminated. Now back to VPC and try to delete. VPC in one shot you can delete it. So it is going to delete gateway, subnet, routing, connectivity, everything. Okay, now it is clean. In instance, just back to dashboard and check it once. 3 instance but running 0, 4 key pair, security group only 1. So everything is clean. Now sign out. So please try this VPC. It is little bit lengthy. So many topics are there. So many items are there.